Hey folks, one of the things that we're going to be working on as we move into the last semester of your senior year, as well as just honing the tutorials for the last bit of your senior year, is to expand beyond just bullet pointing your ideas on your tutorials. One of the things that the other three levels are doing that I think we also can incorporate, and it is recommended by our district director, is to start using more graphic organizers, especially for non-math tutorials. So for those of us who are working on subjects like English or science or econ or government or psychology, this would be one way to help hone our POCs. And that was one of the critiques that came out of our observation. So the purpose of today and in the coming days is to elevate the level of TRF questions and ways that we put our notes on our paper. That's the purpose behind what we're starting to do today. So our goal is to increase a higher level thinking behind your POC, to give more detail in other TRF areas, and to increase your critical thinking as you puzzle through a POC. So one of the things that we want to start to work with is how we might use graphic organizers on your TRFs during your tutorial days. And so I'm going to have you practice in groups, and it should be a fairly low-key day. I want you to choose your groups somewhere between 5 and 6 people in a group. I'm going to ask you to grab some butcher paper and some markers. And I'm also going to be giving you a list of potential sample questions. So I'm not asking you to come up with a question. I'm actually giving you a list, and you can pick one from there just to mess around with. I'm also going to give you a handout with different types of graphic organizers and notes as to what subjects those graphic organizers may work well for. And what I'm going to ask you to do as a group is to choose one of the questions on the list and any type of graphic organizer model that you think is going to work well. And then I'm going to ask you to do this on your butcher paper, or if you want to use one of the rolling boards, you can. But I want you to write the initial question. In other words, what question are you tackling? Is it number 1? Should the U.S. Postal Service be restructured to meet the needs of a changing world? And if so, how? Or is it number 7, analyze how Western expansion contributed to growing sectional tensions between the North and the South prior to the U.S. Civil War? So write that initial question up on your board or your butcher paper, and then do a little bit of preliminary research. Or if you remember it from previous years, great. But complete a sample graphic organizer. And I do have some samples attached to the slideshow. This is also in your assignment, and you'll see that avid teachers had to go through this process as well with regard to the different potential graphic organizers. And so please use those as a reference point if that helps for you. But you'll see 3 on this slide and 2 on the next, I'm sorry. And the following slides, folks, are the different types of graphic organizers. I do have the handout that has the actual samples listed, and you will have that in your hands, but that is there in case you would like that reference point. But that is our assignment for today, and again, this should take less than this period. So work together, and don't take this as a criticism of our tutorials. Mrs. Wilson was looking at a way that we could become more excellent than we already are. And I appreciate what she's saying. And this is something that the other 3 levels of Avid are doing. So I thought that I would expose you guys to it as well and start to see if this is something that we could incorporate. So I hope that that helps. And I'm looking forward to seeing what our samples look like. I hope you have a great day. Thank you.